better than ever. Hi, my name is Override Gaming, and welcome back to another video. So this is a bit different. More like a return to formality. So, as you know, I create wrestling content on this channel as well as various other games, and I know that I've been lately playing a lot of different games, exploring stuff like Gran Turismo, Wreckfest, you know, that kind of stuff. Recently I posted Velocity. Velocity's back. I told you old series will be coming back. Okay, and I'm going to try and be as committed as possible to that, okay? Excuse me, thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back with another Hear Me Out episode, and just like a month ago, where the, I was about to say NXT, but the TNT title was introduced, and I said who should win it. Let's just say I was drastically wrong, because I thought Pat was going to walk away with it. It makes sense to put the title on Lance Archer, which I'm happy about. Well, I wouldn't say that because Double or Nothing hasn't even happened yet, so you know, it's one of those. But yeah, it is one of those at the end of the day. I got it completely wrong. My prediction's completely wrong. But today we're gonna hear me out once again, and we are going to tackle the Intercontinental Championship this time. As I'm pretty sure you've heard a couple of days ago, Sami Zayn has had to relinquish the Intercontinental Championship, which is a good thing for one thing and one thing only: the fact that he was never defeated. Okay, Sami Zayn had an undefeated Intercontinental Championship run. Don't sleep on that. Yes you in a Seth Rollins t-shirt. Alright, don't sleep on it. Okay, Sami Zayn was undefeated as Intercontinental Champion. What are you saying? But obviously it's a bummer, and we know both WWE likes to pick and choose who they want to be on the case as champion. You know, Andrade had a 7 months had a 30-day suspension, still United States champion. Brock Lesnar had a 500-day reign as champion, and basically just decided to take it on vacation. Pretty much, still Universal Champion, still WWE Champion. But as soon as Sami, you know, is a bit uncomfortable with performing in a pandemic, nope, we can't be having any of that, can we? No. So either ways, every cloud has its silver lining, and recently, in my opinion, the Intercontinental Championship has become one of the worst championships in WWE history, which is an absolute shame, because in my opinion, the Intercontinental Championship is the best title in WWE. It's the most prestigious title in WWE. That's the workhorse championship. That's the championship that when you've worked hard enough to have it, it's not just a mid-card belt, it is a mid-card belt with prestige and honor, and anyone who does gain the Intercontinental Championship should be honored and prestige to have it, personally, in my opinion. And lately, the last few reigns have been dreadful. I love Nakamura, but his title run was horrible. Both title runs were just absolutely dreadful. Again, it's lost its prestige, it's lost its gold. So in this video today, I'm gonna give my picks to who I think should be the next Intercontinental Champion, and I'm gonna do it for people who are most important, who need it the most, to people who need it less, or the other way around. You get what I'm saying? But my first pick is a wild card, to say the least, and that is Jackson Riker out of the Forgotten Sons. Now, as I'm pretty sure you know if you've watched NXT for a long time, the Forgotten Sons are a stable, a pretty solid heel stable. They won't turn any heads, but they'll get the job done. That's their kind of team to fit in. And I think having Jackson Riker as their heavy, you know, really shakes things up. When that guy competes, I've seen the guy to tear people up, and especially if you want, you know, to invest in new talent, put faith in new stars. I think Jackson Riker as an Intercontinental Champion would be a absolute monster. I don't think people would be able to touch him. Unless you have the wily guys like Daniel Bryan and etc., you know, who can really kind of pick apart big guys. But yeah, Jackson Riker I think would be a very, very good push. And even still, you could have Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler having the tag team championships. They're already going for it, but having those guys as a stable, I think, and holding the titles, I think would, you know, put faith in new stars, number one, and number two, it would turn heads towards Forgotten Sons. But I think Jackson Riker as an Intercontinental Champion would do well. Next pick for myself, I am going with Robert Roode. A lot of people have been sleeping on this. It was only till when people were saying he should be Intercontinental Champion, and Robbie, I was about to say Robbie Roode, well, he's Bobby Roode basically. I don't like Robert. No. I like Bobby. But Robert Roode, either way, he basically turned around and said, me, and I completely forgot. And I remembered how much of a god Bobby Roode was in NXT. I still call him Bobby. I don't really care. I remembered how much of a god Bobby Roode was in NXT. He absolutely ruled the roost. He was probably one of the best NXT champions of all time. I'd say in my top 5. The guy was nuts. Okay, he dressed the part. He looked the part. He made the title feel important. When you saw that title around his waist, you looked to hit him as a main event star. And WWE, as usual, NXT call-ups, dropped the ball completely. He's been United States champion since. He's been he's been Raw Tag Team Champions with Chad Gable. But the guy is an absolute nutter. And I think having the Intercontinental Championship around him, I feel like if you bring him back to that kind of I look the part, I am the part, I have the watches, I have the suits kind of thing, to kind of look, Bobby Roode will be absolutely insane as an Intercontinental Champion. So I'd have him in my radars if they do a tournament anytime soon. Next up is Ali. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if he's performing right now or if he isn't, but Ali as Intercontinental Championship, again, the same theory of putting the title on new stars, trying to elevate them, and I think Ali would be a good option, especially for the baby faces, because there's not that many good baby faces, and Mustafa Ali is a lovely guy. If you've seen some of the work he's done outside of wrestling, and you know, he's just a really nice guy. You know, you can tell, you can believe in him. You know, he's a babyface you can actually get behind. Especially if you've seen his stuff on 205 Live. You know, he was close to winning the Cruiserweight title, but I feel like he would have had a great championship run, and I feel like giving him the IC Championship would definitely boost things, especially because the fact that he was actually supposed to be WWE Champion before he got injured, and then obviously we had Kofi Mania. But I would have Ali firmly in my sights for a big push, and if that was the case, I would let him have the Intercontinental Championship. Okay, so the next option I'm going to put these guys in two, and it's Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable. What's happened to Shorty G? The guy, well, to be fair, he was doomed the minute they changed his name, but from a guy who was probably one of the best modern tag teams this world has ever seen with American Alpha, Jason Jordan is now, I think is he retired, or is he, I know he works backstage, so I don't know if he had to retire because of an injury or something like that, but either way, they made him look like a fool with the whole Kurt Angle, his dad stuff, which was dumb. And then Chad Gable spent time in meaningless tag teams with Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin, I think he won the tag team titles with Bobby Roode as well. But again, that didn't mean anything. That was just a mishmash tag team, which sucks. And I hate it when people are just put together to form a tag team, unless you know, they have chemistry, which a lot of these guys don't. You know, with the exception of somebody like Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, for instance. Those guys have the chemistry. You can tell they're polar opposites, but the chemistry's there. However, on about Shorty G, the guy is he is such a good wrestler, such a talented wrestler as well. The guy, you know, has that amateur wrestling background that Kurt Angle has, that Shelton Benjamin has as well. The guy is a really good wrestler. I think if you ditch the Shorty G crap, gave him a good title opportunity, I reckon he'd do wonders with the IC Championship. Same with Shelton Benjamin. I know we don't really let our part-timers have a championship run or a world title run, but giving him the Continental Championship, again, for old viewers and kind of new viewers, that will give some sense of familiarity. And again, just for him to hold it for a few months again would, you know, kind of build things back up again and have that mid-card, you know, have a competitive mid-card. The next person I'm going to go for on my list is the man, the charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy. Now, this guy is absolutely insane. As you know, he's had a great career. I know he's not a part-timer, and I know a lot of us want him to have one more world title run. But I don't think that's happening in the near future. So instead, let him have the IC Championship. Again, let him build up himself. I know he's currently starting a feud with Sheamus. That would be cool for the IC title. I would be down for that. So I'd have Hardy as an Intercontinental Champion. And speaking of former Intercontinental Champions, wait, no, I'll come back to that one later. But next up we got Baron Corbin. Now, he was very unlucky not to get his hands on the Money in the Bank briefcase. I feel like if he got that, it would have been absolutely brilliant. I would have loved every single minute of it, because one, just to piss off the fans who are like, Baron Corbin sucks, he's boring, he's changed the channel heat. He's not, by the way. He is one of the best heels in wrestling at the moment. You just don't want to admit it because he's that good at his job. Anyone that makes you want to punch you and, well, wants to make any heel that wants you to, well, you want to punch them in the face is a good heel. Even though I hate JBL is a very good heel. Even though I hated The Miz at one point, and I respect the work he does now, but as a heel, I hated him. He was a very good heel. So at the end of the day, you know, Baron Corbin's just another one of those guys, and I feel like, you know, giving him, you know, the Intercontinental Championship to make up for the fact that he did lose, again, I'd be down for that. I know Elias has kind of done a little bit of a thing at Money in the Bank when he interrupted in that match, but again, Elias as well would be a pretty good fit. We've said that he's a good mid-carder. And again, having him as Intercontinental Championship would be cool. Remind me of the Honky Tonk Man. If you remember his run, he held it for so long that people could not wait to see him lose it. But I feel like, again, that would be kind of a nice little throwback. I feel like Elias as an Intercontinental Champ would actually work. But now we come on to our top picks. And I've mentioned him before, but my next pick is Sheamus. Sheamus has been on an absolute tear since he came back, and again, what way to cap off a run that he's been on by being Intercontinental Champion. I don't feel like they put him in world title status just yet. So again, having him as Intercontinental Championship as the returning Celtic Warrior, again, will just cap it off. These guys are absolutely nuts. He is absolutely nuts. Going solo, I really think that would be such a great thing to just cap it off. So I'm interested to see. Excuse me. I'm interested to see what they make of that. But I think Sheamus as Intercontinental Champion would be absolutely brilliant. Next picks are two. Well, these guys are a tag team at the moment, but I say either one, Daniel Bryan or Drew Gulak. We know what Daniel Bryan could do, so I'm not gonna, you know, spend too much time talking about him. But him as Intercontinental Championship would do wonders. He does make titles feel important. Look at his WWE run with the Eco Belt. Say no more. But yeah, honestly, Daniel Bryan has gotten a championship. I'm down for that. But I want to turn your attention to Drew Gulak. If you haven't seen his Cruiserweight title run on 205 Live, watch it, because that is a title run and a half. And that is why I feel like he'd be a great Intercontinental Championship contender. But I say that with a pinch of salt, because I believe they should go to the tag team division and fight for the tag team belts and take the belts off the damn New Day. But either ways, we come to my top 2 picks. And the one person I'm going to mention next is The Miz. Now, if you want to make a title feel important, who do you call? It's not Ghostbusters. The Miz. The Miz is just, he's a prime example of a modern heel in wrestling, a modern champion in wrestling. The guy gets the point. That's the title, especially the Intercontinental Championship. What do? Do you put yourself over the title? No, you put the title over you, and that brings you up. Okay, and what did The Miz do in 2016? Exactly that. The talking smack segment with Daniel Bryan, the way he came in on Raw and confronted John Cena and Roman Reigns, it was like, I don't understand how you guys are getting title opportunities every single week, main event slots every single week, yet I'm here busting my ass off with the Intercontinental Championship, with the most important championship in the world, and what happens? Do I get the coverage? No. The guy is an absolute stud. He's a great competitor. It's a shame that the tag team titles got put to the New Day and not kept on Miz and Morrison. Hey, ho ho. But either way, if you want to go to the Intercontinental Championship, go for The Miz. The Miz is just a go-to choice for me. Great champion, and he would have another great reign as IC champ. But also, moreover to that point is Vince obviously trusts The Miz to hold a title, so there's that too. And again, if you want somebody you can trust, you can rely on to get results out of a mid-card division, again, The Miz is a great choice. I know also John Morrison is a good choice as well for IT Championship, because he did have a very good reign back in the day. So again, watch out for him too. But my number 1 pick, well, I would have picked The Miz over this guy, but I'm pretty sure I speak everybody's language when I say the next Intercontinental Champion should be Cesaro. Now, I know he's not going to be World Champion, yes, but the guy has only been Raw Tag Team Champion and SmackDown Tag Team Champion. Maybe, did he win the NXT Tag Team Championships? I don't think he did. But either way, SmackDown Tag Team Champ and Raw Tag Team Champ. Right, and United States Champion. That is criminally injustice, considering the guy Cesaro is. Now, fair enough, the neutralizer isn't a good finisher, but the European uppercut is a good finisher. But Cesaro as Intercontinental Champion it just makes sense. He's deserved it. He's an underrated wrestler, pretty good in the mic. I mean, he may not be the most charismatic, but again, if we're going with, you know, people who need a push, and a push quick, I go with Cesaro. Say no more. The guy is just nuts. He's a great competitor, great guy as well. He deserves the world, much like the whole of wrestling Twitter. I'm pretty sure we're all on the same page that Cesaro needs to be the next Intercontinental Champion. But that will do it for this episode of Hear Me Out. Make sure to like, subscribe, and if you have enjoyed yourself, put your notifications bell on. You'll be notified firsthand when a new Override Gaming video is coming to your faces. I've been Override Gaming, and I hope you have a great day and a good night. Take care. Bye now.